Hi. Just starting the Instagram simulcast. My techie simulcast, just using multiple devices. Okay, hi. We are rounding third, which for you that do not know baseball, that means we're almost done with the podcast launch party. We've given away Amazon cards, Target cards. We have one more Target card and a Erin Condren Spring 2019 surprise box. So yay! Okay, so for this segment, we're going to talk about Socialize LA. Because I think that a lot of my friends and family, which is who I'm going live for right now. I'm going live in my personal Instagram and my personal Facebook. So a lot of you are my friends and my family, and so I appreciate your support. So whether you're a business owner or you're in business, I do need your support in subscribing to and rating and reviewing the podcast on either Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts. So the links are here in the description. If you're on Instagram, it's link in bio. Let me know that you've taken action, and then I'm adding you to our drawing. So our drawing is all virtual. It's on this website called Wheel of Names. I highly recommend it. And I've added everyone's name in who has let me know that they have subscribed and rated and reviewed, and then they are entered into the drawing. So, and you can win multiple times, okay? So anyway, Socialize LA was born 10 years ago in New York, and it was born out of a desire to just like have a better career, and I was very unmotivated in the job that I was in, and I was wondering, what am I going to do, and yada, yada, yada. I moved back to Southern California. You guys have heard this story before, and I learned how to run a business. Okay? I listened. I rolled with the punches. I got up when I got knocked down. I was just talking to my friend Erin the other day, and I was just telling her that I was in a certain situation, and I said, I just cannot believe, because I have a really good memory. If you don't know that about me, I have a very, very good memory. And so I remember things vividly. So I can remember even sometimes how I felt in certain situations. And I just remembered being in a scenario 7 years ago, and then 7 years later being in the same predicament, but in a completely different scenario, and just how grateful I was that my company had grown and all of that. But I need to tell you how I've grown my company. And I'll tell you that I used to be kind of like, not embarrassed of it, but almost just like, well, I don't want people to know how I've grown my business. And you guys are like, well, how did you grow your business? What made you so ashamed? So it was, let's say, 6 years ago in Miami at the NAWBO National Conference, which is an amazing conference that I highly recommend you attend. Hi, Loretta. This conference is for women business owners, people who want to start their business, people who have already started their business, maybe are co-owners, whatever. This is the place for you. Anyway, it's in Jacksonville this year, and you won't want to miss it. But anyway, I was at the Miami conference, and I was sitting with some NAWBO sisters, and they were talking about hiring and building their team, and I kind of just tuned out because to me, hiring just seemed like it was very expensive and just not for me. It wasn't where my business was. When I think about hiring, I think about like 40 hours a week, 401k, sick pay, and all of these things that I just had not, like, there's just no way I could wrap my head around that. And then they told me about hiring contractors or outsourcing to do certain things in my business. Like maybe hiring a virtual assistant or a bookkeeper, where I didn't have to have these positions in my office per se. I didn't have an office back then. And so I started building my business using freelancers who wanted to work from home and who had the, they had the skill, but they just didn't want to work in a regular 40-hour-a-week job. They wanted to work from home, or they wanted to work from the road. And so I started building my team that way. The first person I hired, her name was Jessica, and her and I are still connected online. And she was with me for like a year and a half, and then she went on to other things. But it was wonderful because she was from the United States. However, she was living abroad. And so I was able to employ her and give her hours. And then she was able to work from, the beautiful places that she was traveling to. She was just doing her thing and traveling. And so that's where my journey started to build the team. So I started building the team strategically, people to help with social media, with engagement, with copywriting, with just overall operations. And all of these people, at some point, they either have their own business or they just freelance. And so a lot of my team I've never met in person. Yep. There are 10 of us now. There are 10 people as part of Socialize LA, if you can believe that. And we all have very specific roles, and all of us are working remotely. So we do have headquarters in downtown LA. We have a beautiful office, but everyone on the team prefers to work out of the comfort of their own area. And a lot of us live in different cities, and I'm about to tell you where everybody lives, and also to make a couple of announcements of some new members of our team. So we do need to update our team roster so that you guys can all see. But we have Des, and Des does all of our engagement. So she does that for us and for our clients. And so her job is basically to just make sure that all the pages that we manage, including our own, have engagement with, target audiences, people who are commenting on posts and things like that. Her job is very important, and she's been with us now probably for over 2 years, maybe more, Des. But she is fantastic. And she is, again, she's worked with us for over 2 years. I have never met Des in person. I feel like I have, but I have not met her in person. And she lives in South Dakota. So, yeah, isn't that awesome? All right. And then, and these people I have trusted for years now. And so this is the type of bond that we are creating. A lot of trust, a lot of communication. Okay, so then the next person on my list, in no particular order, is Erica. Erica is a little bit newer with us, and she is a content strategy ninja. She is very savvy in social media, in content marketing. She has experience in fashion, e-commerce, and music, actually. So, and lifestyle. She's been wonderful. She actually is in Philly, and she also joined NABO Philadelphia as a supporting member. So I'm super excited to have her there with our NABO sisters. Then we have Holly, and Holly has been with us since September, October of last year, and she runs a lot of our operations, and she assists me in pretty much anything I need help with, and she is fantastic, and she is actually in Southern California. Then we have myself. So I've been here the longest, and yes, I have met myself, and I have met Holly only recently. Friday, I met her in person for the first time. Yes. But we talk all of the time, and I trust her with all of my things. Then we have Sarah D. We have 3 Sarahs on the team. Yes, 3 Sarahs on the team. Sarah D has been with us now for maybe 3 years, and she is a genius at social media. She has an amazing attitude, awesome, just a great team player, and she's wonderful. And she is in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Then we have Sarah P, who's been with us for quite a while, and she is an expert at e-commerce, Amazon e-commerce. She is, we do not have an e-commerce store, but our clients do on Amazon, and so we want to make sure each of our clients are represented well. There's so many intricacies of having an Amazon store. It's not just about putting products out there and selling them. It is like this wild, wild west. Like, you have to be on point. And so she manages all of that. And she is also in the Midwest. Okay? Then we have Sarah Hall, who I met in real life through a client, actually. And Sarah's been with us now for over 3 years. Sarah travels the world. She is a scuba instructor, but she is also an amazing copywriter. And she does a lot of our blogging and copywriting. Then most recently, we've just recently added 2 more team members. And first, we have Joelle. And Joelle I also know in real life. And we brought her on to be the concierge of Socialize LA. So her whole role is to make sure that anyone who does business with Socialize LA is given red carpet treatment. Because I do feel that as we've grown, so business owners, like, we need to always keep the pulse on this, is that we need to make sure that those people that are entrusting us not only with the service, but, you know, there's like that warm, fuzzy feeling that they need. And so Joelle's whole job is to be the concierge to make sure that all of our clients are happy and to just give them an awesome experience. And then those of us who are actually executing the work, we can focus on that, and then Joelle can work on the customer service piece. So we're super excited. And then last, but certainly not least, Farron Maya Seiden. Farron Maya Seiden, I do know in person in great detail. Farron and I grew up together in, I don't know why I'm looking at that camera because it's not on. It's this camera and this camera. Farron Maya Seiden is one of my closest, nearest, dearest, best friends. We grew up together. We lived together, and we've grown up together in our 20s and in our 30s. And so she has an amazing resume of education and experience, and she just has so much to bring to the table, and we have found a spot for her on the Socialize LA team. She is going to be helping to manage and to guide and train in the Flex Your Influence community. So if you're not familiar with that, that is our program where we help marketers, social media marketers, business owners, and people who are doing their own digital marketing. This is the community where we're teaching you and guiding you on how to be consistent and to train you in the areas that you need additional training. So Farron is a coach in that group, and you're in for a treat. She is wonderful. She is brilliant. She brings so many awesome ideas to the table, and as a team, we already are getting along so great. We had a team meeting yesterday, and I didn't tell them this yet because I haven't talked to them since, and I've been busy doing this launch. But yesterday we had a team meeting about the Flex Your Influence community and just how the different pieces are going to be working, and there's so much going on, but now it's all organized. And the freedom that I had yesterday, I did some projects that I had kind of had on my back burner, and then I was able to do it because I was free. It's like the other things are being done in the business, and I am free to do these other things that need to be done. So there's always work to be done. So it's exciting. It's super exciting to see how the company's growing. And remember, be wildly excited about the possibilities, because that is it. That's the mantra. This is how we live. If you can't live this way, then it's going to be hard to be part of this team, or it's going to be hard to work with me, because I'm going to ask you to reach and to look beyond what you see, look beyond what you can touch. When it comes to digital marketing, so many people, the reason I even came up with this mantra was because for years people would say, Margaret, if they're intrigued by digital marketing, but then they're like, well, what am I going to get out of it? That's always the question. And it's like, look, sir, ma'am, I cannot promise you that X, Y, and Z are going to happen if you start doing X, Y, Z in your online marketing. But what I can tell you is that if you would just start doing the work, start putting yourself out there, start flexing your influence, you are going to be putting your name into places that it had not been before. You are going to be front and top of mind when maybe you weren't before. So I'm telling you, you're also going to be opening up yourself to new possibilities. This is the way it works. This is the truth. So that is the mantra here. That's what you're going to get when you work with us. You've seen me all day, and so this is me on like very low energy. But I am energized when I'm talking about this business. I love what I do. Sure, there are some elements that are hard, that are challenging, that take up more of my brain power or my willpower. But for the most part, I love what I do. I love this job. I love the clients that we serve. We always want to put our best foot forward for our clients and make magic for them. That's it. So at Socialize LA, we do have the Done For You side, where we become your digital marketing department. And then we also have the Done With You side, which is the Flex Your Influence community, as well as outsourced CMO services, where we can help guide your marketing and develop your marketing strategy. So all different levels for all different businesses. We work with so many different types of businesses. So people ask, like, do you have a specific type? No, we have all different types. And most of our business is through referral, and we love that. So anyway, I am going to do a drawing. We have 2 more. So after this, we only have 1 left. So I want to make sure I need to add anybody who... I'll give you a couple minutes. Has anybody else subscribed to the podcast so you can be entered into the drawing? Remember, the reason why I've been going live like 1,000 times today is because we're launching the podcast, and part of that party is some giveaways. And so I just want to make sure that you're entered to win. Kathy, you're in. Let me see here if we have any new ones. Jacqueline, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your, I believe you have an iPhone. I could be wrong. But if you have an iPhone, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. If you have an Android or other, subscribe to the Flex Your Influence podcast on Google Podcasts. Did I say that okay? Already heard Planning 101. Love it. Yay! I'm so excited. Okay, cool. And remember, the podcast is a new episode will come out every Tuesday. So you'll be looking for them every Tuesday. Let's see here. Okay, so I am going to do a drawing, and this is going to be for the Target gift card. And that goes to Stephanie Regalado. Stephanie Regalado just won a Target gift card. I need to write it down so I do not forget. Yay. Stephanie. And she was one from later on this afternoon. Okay, cool. All right. So, the last topic of conversation before we close out the launch party. First, I'm going to remind everyone, if you are just tuning in, I have been going live all day, not because I want to talk all day to you, even though it's been really fun. I am going live because we're celebrating the podcast, the Flex Your Influence podcast. And don't forget that hashtag. And I launched it in May, but today is the actual launch party. And I am asking that you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Google Podcast. I'm sorry, on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts. And then I'm also asking that you rate it, subscribe, and review it. So please take a moment to do that. Yes, flex it. Hi Mimi, hi Ginger. Did you guys subscribe to the podcast and review it? If you did, let me know so I can add you to the last giveaway. Been giving away gift cards all day long. So I did this on my personal Facebook and my personal Instagram because I am reaching out not just to my business community but to my friends and my family because you're my biggest support. And remember what Gail Becker said on Friday. She said that the way you can support your friend's small business or your family's small business is not necessarily just buying their product, because you may not need their product, but you can like their posts, you can subscribe to their podcast, and trust me, that is like such an amazing way to support them. And my friends have been instrumental. Samantha, Erin, Farron, Kristen. I don't want to forget anyone, so I'm going to stop right there. My cousins, oh my gosh. My sisters, my aunt, my uncle, my husband, my grandma, my mother, my father, like just all my aunts and my uncles, like just so many people in my life who may have never bought my services, but they've supported me in so many different ways, and without them, I could not have gotten to where I am today. And so, and we're not stopping. I'm not stopping. Like I said in like the first or the second video I did today, this is like 5 or 6 videos I've done today. I said that this business it was like a gut feeling, like, okay, even though I'm not getting any new clients, I know that I'm in the right spot. I know I'm doing the right thing. So I kept going, and so then it kept growing, and it kept growing. And so until I know because, as a Christian, I know that I know, like, the way that I'm supposed to go. And right now, I am in the right position. And I am not slowing down or stopping until it's time. And so one of the reasons why I do what I do, it's become so evident, even like in the last few months with new team members coming on, I'm like, this is not about me. This is about others and supporting others and the clients that we serve. Some of the clients that we serve, I think, who else could do this? Like, not a lot of people can do what we do. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. Because we're fluid, we're flexible, we are team players, and we're smart, and we're resourceful, and we're good at what we do. And so it's like we are serving so many different people. We're serving the team members, giving them opportunities. We're serving our clients and giving them this service that is just, it's different and it's productive and it's efficient. And so anyway, there's just like so many amazing whys and so many concrete whys that like that's what keeps me going. So anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there. But anyway, I appreciate your support. I did all 3 to show my support. Thank you, Ginger. I am going to add you to the spinner. The spinner is so stinking cool. It gives me the ability to choose people at random. So, yeah. But anyway, everyone, thank you so much for all the love and support and the text messages and all of that. It's been wonderful today. It's been high energy, but it's also been amazing. After this, I'm going to go hang out with my family, as I should, and help them to subscribe to the podcast in person. They couldn't yeah, it's fine. I'm sure if I walked my mom through it, she could figure it out, but I told her I'd do it for her anyway. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? Loretta, awesome. I'm adding you to the giveaway. Does anybody have any questions for me? Like, I mean, really anything. What do you got? Thank you for taking more time. I want to be a resource to you if you're like thinking about, hey Joycey, if you're thinking about starting a business or starting your own podcast or starting something new, or you're just not sure. And actually, since nobody's asking me questions and Joyce Lee just commented, I do want to talk a little bit more about NABO. Why? Because of what NABO has meant to my business and to other businesses and the type of community that NABO is. So NABO is a national organization, and there's about 50, 60 chapters across the country that you can be a part of locally. But really, it's a national organization who was formed over 40 years ago, and because of their formation and their advocacy, we as women are able to have credit cards and have businesses in our name and lines of credit in our name. Because before that, women needed the co-signature of a male counterpart, whether that's a husband, a father, a brother, a son. You would need a co-signer to do any of these things. Someone's asking, does NABO help nonprofits? So what NABO is an organization that you become a part of. So once you're a part of it, then it's your job to like network and to get to know people, and really it's about learning how to run a nonprofit, learning how to run a business, and learning from those that have done it before you. That's what NABO is. And so yeah, it helps nonprofits, absolutely, because it's serious women who you're around, who you learn from. When I first joined NABO, I was a sponge. I just looked around and I would smile and nod until I had something to say. I sat around a table with the Alevs of the world, the Carmen Rads of the world, the Maddie Alfanos of the world, and this is in LA, and I'm just like listening to them and all of their historical knowledge of the organization, and I had no idea what they were talking about at times, but I would just listen, and I was invited. I was invited to the room. I was invited to the table, and I was welcomed, and they wanted to help me. They wanted to support my business, and that's what it's all about. And now, 7-8 years later, I sit on the board, and I've learned from these women. I've learned so much. And so if you are a woman business owner, First of all, Nabo has done, where do I get all my energy? I don't know. Nabo has done so much for women business owners. And so it's not about what Nabo can do for you, but it's about what you can do for Nabo at this point, because it's reciprocal. It's something, what you get out of Nabo is what you put into it. And so if you go into it thinking oh, well, what am I going to get out of it? Then you're probably not going to get off to a great start. You go into Nabo thinking, okay, how can I be a part of this community, give back to this community, because that community will give back to you. I'm telling you. And so there's a lot of organizations out there for women business owners, and and I'm not saying that they're not great, but at the same time, I'm saying that Nabo is a real deal. We have a seat at the table. If you saw my photos from a couple weeks ago, we were in DC meeting with all types of national, representatives and Congress people who were talking about small business issues, women business issues, and that's a big deal. That not a lot of organizations are doing that. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not into politics. It's not about politics. It's about policy. It's about advocacy. I'm not into politics either, but I am into understanding the laws that impact me and my business. And what impacts my business is also what impacts your business. So we should care. You should care about that. Earlier I was talking about how I've grown my team with contractors and freelancers. Well, there's a certain way that I have to hire them in order to be okay tax-wise. So I'm getting to a point now where I may need to hire them as employees, but for now I'm good in the way that I am hiring them. But this is all stuff that I'm learning from my Nabo sisters, from people who I trust and who are on top of things. But anyway, so I couldn't go this whole day without really talking about who Nabo is, what Nabo's about. If you want to be a part of it and you are in Los Angeles, I will get you plugged in. If you're anywhere else, I will connect you with the right people. And I myself, I have actually joined up one of my employees. She just joined the Philly chapter. So she's going as a supporting member. And a couple of my other team members are interested in joining Nabo as well. And I will be joining them up because I want them to be around the energy of Nabo, and I want them to just be part of that community because it is powerful. So anyway, it is 5:43. I think it's time to do the last giveaway. Yes, Joyce, always. So I would love more information about joining Nabo. Yes, Ginger, I will definitely give you information, and there is a chapter in the Inland Empire, and they would love to have you, and I can introduce you to all the wonderful people, okay? So Nabo is wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the podcast launch. I have never done this before. I have never done a full day of Facebook Lives, but I'm glad I did. It was so much fun talking with you, and I hope you got to know me a little bit better. There's so much work to be done. Thanks, Jay. There's so much work to be done, and I want you to know that I get busy, and it seems like I'm busy all the time. But if you have a question and you want to reach out, we have a free Facebook group. It's called the Modern Marketing Support Group on Facebook. Join that group. Ask questions. We don't answer them as often as we do in our paid group, of course, but we do get in there and we do answer questions. And then when you're ready, join the Flex Your Influence community. It's $97 a month, and we are going to guide you through the digital marketing process. It's amazing to have support to guide you through these steps rather than having to think of everything on your own, right? And I'm telling you guys, today when I woke up, I was not feeling like I wanted to be on Facebook Live all day, but that didn't change me. I had to come, bring it, and get excited about it, and I did. But this is what it's all about. This is what online marketing is all about, right? Whether you feel like it or you don't, you need to do it. So anyway, I just want to say thank you again, and I am going to do the last drawing, and this is for the Erin Condren box. Okay, and let me see if there's anybody else I need to add. Did anybody else subscribe to the podcast or rate it or review it? And that way you get your entry into the drawing. Speak now, because this is the last one. Let me make sure I got everybody. Tomorrow my voice is going to be gone. Like right now it sounds okay, but tomorrow it will be done. And I actually have some podcasts to record, so that will be fun. Okay, let's see here. Okay, awesome. So I am going to do spinning, and the winner of the Erin Condren giveaway is Megan C. from New Jersey. I will be mailing this to you, Megan. I don't think you're listening. I can't see you, but I will be mailing this to you. Megan is a NABO sister in New Jersey, and she is part of a mastermind that I actually put together a mastermind last year, and she's part of it. So yay! But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I am calling it a day. I want to thank you so much. Please remember that I am just a post away, a message away, and if you want to join the free group, Modern Marketing Support Group, please join that and ask your questions. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Thank you.